First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Tide Damian Harris. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run again with Harris, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Harris running straight ahead. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On play action, now Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. He's at the 30. 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Fields now to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
So that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now Brady. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. On the give, this is Harris. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. We're scoreless after one. Texans football to start quarter two, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Play action, now it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
I see the flex god. I see the flex god. I see the flex god.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Fields. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The Bears at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields eluding the pressure right. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Chicago! rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. So after a scoreless first quarter, our first score of the game here in quarter number 2.
And it comes on a great run too, Brandon, because once he got past that first wave, how about how he kicked it into high gear, able to outrace defenders all the way to the end zone.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. On play action, it's Brady. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing now is Brady. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They hand this off to Harris. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. So if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Here's Brady. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Brady to throw for it on fourth down. Airing this one out for Evans. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Brady now on first down. That is pulled in by Michael Thomas. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And Brady's throw there incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Again, they'll throw with Brady. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And that is no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on fourth and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, Charles certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on fourth and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. To throw is Fields. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send him back to the drawing board.
Fields on third down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there. And that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 101 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Back to throw. Fields uses the stiff arm. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Fields on first down. Flushed out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it up. And the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this one will kick out of bounds, so they'll hold on to it inside the 10-yard line. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hands it off out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now it's Fields. Dancing to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
This is caught by Evans. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Meanwhile, Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 36 yards on the play. Now that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a 3rd to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team at that point.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Damian Harris, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. That one complete down the field to Smith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Fields going to get this one out on the perimeter. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. 9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Fields. Fields, he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bears are on their way to a 2-0 start. Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. They'll try and run it here. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Brady, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Harris. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now Brady got to have this one. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Texans first down as this defense, boy, a little too loose there. They give up a gain of 19 on 4th down. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Here's Brady to throw. He'll let one go deep for Howard. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Brady to throw again. Evans has it left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 35. Brady. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Brady going to go on 4th down. And now here's another interception. Dante Jackson picks it. There he goes left side. 20. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. To throw is Brady. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And a catch right side by Evans. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Again, it's Brady. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Brady now to throw. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They'll go option to the short side. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Bass on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On 2nd and 15 now. Brady. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
Well, Brady's throw there, incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
One final try now for Brady. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football, because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Chicago, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.
crystal. That's a crystal.